I cannot tell you what this award really means to me. I often testify in many, many circles that Notre Dame changed my life. And I do not underestimate that, and I do not undervalue that, honestly. It made the difference between me and my sister, who died at the age of 48, addicted to drugs. I want to start with first thanking the Alumni Association, Dolly, and all her colleagues, Dean Cole, the Notre Dame Law School, my dear friends, the McLaughlins, who probably have more faith in me than I ever have in myself. But also my dear husband, Michael, my family, my 3 kids, Jenna, David, Joanna, and my granddaughter, Noella, who have supported me and inspired me throughout my career and my purpose, educating the next generation of Latinos. My life has presented me with many opportunities and experiences, each independently profound, but together transformational. I grew up in a very dysfunctional family, but I also was able to attend the University of Notre Dame, which was formerly, in my years, a predominantly white and male institution. Here I was, this little Latina from Southwest Detroit with parents who had never finished high school. I have been subjected to conscious and unconscious biases in the workplace, and I've climbed the corporate ladder and traveled the world twice over. Each of these things have transformed me, but collectively, they have created the 3 fundamentals that I live by. Number 1, we have an obligation to lead, support, and serve our communities, especially la próxima generación, the next generation. 2, our sense of responsibility to others is the fuel that will help us overcome all of our fears. And as I shared earlier with others, I still have imposter syndrome. And 3, success does not require assimilation. And we should allow ourselves to effect change. Here's the most important part. We can effect change not just from grassroots organizations. My father said, you can do more if you're not poor. And I believe that. So I have utilized the capitalist structure and have effected change from within the structure so that I could ensure that my change was not temporary, but lasting. I definitely grew up with very little. My community, my Latino community, has been very underserved, underpaid, undereducated, and most of the time hopeless and disheartened. My parents married very young. My cousins have joined gangs, been incarcerated, and died of overdoses. Even my only sister lost her 3 children to me in a war with drugs, alcohol, and the barrio neighborhood. I took custody of our children in the year 2000 and adopted them in 2008 when it was clear that she could not overcome her demons. My children, our children, are soon to be 29, 30, and 31. And our only granddaughter is 10, and we pray that she will be in the ND class of 2036. Woo! And carry on the Chávez family legacy. I believe that I was raised and groomed to be a chingona, and in Spanish, that is a badass woman. Or said nicely, a Latina activist. I was born in 1964, the last year of the baby boomers. My parents were in their teens and 20s in the 1960s. They weren't hippies, they were Chicanos. The Latino version of hippies without all of the economic or social freedom. Our friends and family also fought in Vietnam and came back really messed up. My uncle came home addicted to heroin and died at the young age of 49. Because we didn't have seats at the table and were brown and different and subject to illegal searches and seizures and relegated to the fields, to the jobs that no one else in this country wanted, we knew it was time for us to stand for something. The signs where my sixth generation family lived in Texas when the border moved on them in 1848 said no dogs, no Negroes, no Mexicans. No dogs, no Negroes, no Mexicans. And in the words of my favorite Latino band, Las Cafeteras, you should all look it up, they said, in the year 1946, it was the Mendez family that first fought against segregation in California schools. Because before that, they treated us like fools, pushing us into the gangs, wars, and drugs. And then they got pissed off at us when we becomes the Crips and the Bloods. Traviesos, suits, pachucos, folkloras, punks, bomberos. I'm telling you, I'd rather be blind than to stay quiet on a day where my people are hunted down like prey, because my ability to breathe is directly connected to my ability to see. My education at the University of Notre Dame provided me with the experiences, opportunities, and the confidence to enhance my push for social justice through education and to leverage my seats at the big tables of opportunities. Your voices, our voices matter. Economic parity requires accelerated and amplified inclusion from all of us. My father told me to never forget where I came from, and I have not. And neither will the generations that stand on my shoulders. I see myself as a strong, powerful, charismatic, influential, caring Hispanic advocate, leading in rooms where I have been the first and the only, sitting at tables that were likely never constructed for me, both literally, I am small, and figuratively. I am a chingona and a Latina activist in a corporate system, and I utilize my seats at the big tables, the tables of power and opportunity to make a difference and be a voice for those who are not yet at the table. As Cesar Chavez said, once social change begins, it cannot be reversed. You cannot uneducate the person who has learned to read. You cannot humiliate the person who feels pride. And you cannot oppress the people who are not afraid anymore. At the Michigan Hispanic Collaborative, perhaps my life's purpose, the place where I will dedicate my remaining years, we educate, support, and remind our students to take their rightful seats and move our community out of poverty. And we firmly believe that when you educate one Latino, you educate a community. As my education from the University of Notre Dame has enabled me to help thousands of La Próxima Generación, which is now almost 30% of K through 12 in the US, almost 20 million students in K through 12 and in college, fighting to get their high school diplomas and their bachelor's degrees. they hopefully will have an opportunity to sit at the tables that were not constructed for them. I dedicate this very special award to the first person who believed in me, my father, David Alberto Chávez, who died in 1990 before he could see me rise and live out our purpose. Thank you.